Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, Supercoach Pro. We're doing another midnight stream. Just looking at some of the teams for the lineups of Collingwood v Freo. Bit of a danger game, I feel, actually, for the Pies at this point. Another one last minute for this stream as well. I'm just, I don't know, full of energy at the moment just because things are going well. I'm a little bit nervous, so it's probably to take the nerves away more than anything. So you do see this uploaded at another midnight stream. Well, it's because we are way too invested in working out our trades this week. We still haven't got a clear indication where we're going to go. I suppose the team sheets are out tomorrow at 6:20, thereabouts. This is one of the talking points early. Neil Erasmus. I've only just finished work, so I'm just having a look. He's named on the interchange, so you'd imagine maybe Erasmus or Cooper Simpson, one of those two sub-vests. I think Cooper Simpson, in my opinion, would be sub-vest out of this. Job security for Erasmus, not too sure. He got Nod to come back as well. So I'm not a massive fan. I think I've done a poll on Twitter, and most people saying Hurstwaite. They reckon he'll be the guy to make more cash gen and have a better job security out of these two rookies. But it's so hard to tell rookies. That's why I don't want to go early on any of these one gamers either, because the next game they could be dropped and not get a single price rise. Interesting, the team sheets for me on this one. You got them resting to Goey, Penderbury, and Maynard. They must be pretty confident they're going to beat Freo. So my issue here is I was going to get rid of, or at least considering getting rid of Ned Long, but you can only imagine his CBAs are probably going to go up at this point, and his time on ground would probably go up as well. You'd think so. So just letting the cat in as per usual. It can't be a stream without letting the cat in. So yeah, Erasmus, from what I'm hearing on the X community, isn't got the best job security. Not the greatest English there, but yeah, I'm probably going to go Hurstwaite. The issue is a lot of people. Wow, okay, that's weird. I'm getting random spammed in here. A lot of people want to go Erasmus just because he's the early guy to actually be the rookie named early on in the week. So I don't hate it, but also a little bit wary. Another late night stream legend, or thanks, Jack. Cheers, mate. Daniel Green says, "Hey, mate, how are you? Hope you're well, legend." I sure am. FPL down under. Morning, everyone. This guy, quit, bro. No one watching this, but then he's online watching this himself. So good one, mate. Hate you. Okay, cool. So clearly, this guy, whatever he is a bit of a spam account. I'll read him out still because thoroughly entertaining anyway. So good on you for showing up anyway. Whatever. Jack, 4:16 p.m. for me. Trade plans for me. Flynn Pryor for Merritt and Fonte. Going early on Fonte is probably one of the better rookies. He did look good against that side. I can't remember who he's playing now because it is midnight. But yeah, he looked good. It's still so hard to base one game sample size and pick these rookies ahead of time. Merritt, he's solid. His break-even's quite low. Jordan Tag, people are worried about, but I wouldn't necessarily have to worry about that. I think Merritt's just one of the guys you know is going to be about top 8 anyway, so don't worry about it. I'd go for it. I'll have all your sides. Send us in that group chat, Jack. Never got hate before I'm surprised. Definitely a burner account. Go to bed, bro. You're still watching anyway. You're the other one not. Stop being an option thief. Do us all a favour to leave. Well, I don't really care, mate. You can do what you want. Tim, howdy, Brad. Congratulations on your rank, brother. Cheers, mate. Yeah, bye to you, mate. Enjoy your trolling there. Who trolls at like 20 past midnight though? Whatever. Daniel says, I think I'm just going to keep my trades locked in. All right, this is good. So it's finally getting rid of Thomas Dow, because I do remember you talking about Dow a few times now. Archer Reed for Warner and Hurstwaite. I don't think you can go wrong considering you're also banking 153,000. Warner, you'd think, is probably top 8 forward anyway. What else have you got here? Yeah, so it does help you for the next few weeks as well, facilitating trades. So I like that Daniel Green very well. Jack's just get off the stream, you troll. I'm not too concerned, Jack, but thanks, mate. There's always got to be one. I feel like the bigger your channel has growth, like you see how many others, I won't mention who, are hated, and it's a part of the game. Who cares? You move on. You can't be loved by everybody. That's the thing about Supercoach and just anything in general. You can't get caught up in haters because they're still watching you anyway. So there's more views for people that are trying to death ride me. Aqua Essendon giving a debut to a key defender this week, I hear. Yeah, they actually are. Are we getting Zach Reed, halfback keeper? Oh, I don't know. I thought Boss would be a halfback keeper, and I've seen that absolutely just go to shit. So probably not a keeper, because all these rookies you can't fall in love with. But he's certainly got more cash to make at least, at the very least. So yeah. Anyway, Yaron says, top of the morning to ya. Yeah, you too, mate. Cheers, Yaron. But yeah, aside from these team chats, we've got nothing else to work on, like our trade plans as such. I'll get rid of this AFL team lineup. We'll just see what the green dots are on anyway, in terms of Supercoach relevant players. But looks like I'm holding long Chelsea trade, sir. A few newbies in here that I've never seen too before, or maybe once or twice. I can do that. Give me a second. That was Hugh that said Chelsea trades. I'm looking at two different trades. And Tom, I'm not interested in Erasmus for my side personally. So we'll stop sharing this screen and we'll get into my side. Here we go. How funny was that troll, though, in all honesty? Literally made an account saying, oh, you can read above anyway. I shared it. I got nothing to hide on this thing. So anyway, I seriously wonder who it is. Probably someone I've never met before, which is quite standard. So rank 52. So this is probably where the hate's coming from potentially. So thinking a couple of different things. So there's two plans here. It depends if Carroll gets dropped as well, I suppose. So option one, excuse me, is to get rid of Carroll or Henderson and then flick Sard back into defence. And just grab Chad, because every Brad needs a Chad in their life at some point. Players I can afford. Okay, that didn't work because I forgot to trade out Flynn. I think Flynn's gone for mine. It'll be interesting if Flynn's still named, though. Like, I don't know if I should hold or not. I haven't really thought of that. I just don't feel like he will get named, but I haven't got a crystal ball to know these things. Minnie's pretty hot and cold as well on some of these calls. Like he dropped Tim Kelly, so he's not afraid to move the magnets if he thinks someone's not performing. And then Hustweight. I think that's the first time I've ever got that right. So that's option A, or I could also use Henderson for that. So how that would look is this. So that's option A. Can you hear my cat in the background? She's going nuts. Anyway, so that's option A. And then option B is something a little bit different. The issue for me, like, Warner's just a good player in general. Like, he's going to be top 6 to 8. And he's at a price point where I probably don't want to pay any more than that for him. Maybe one more price rise. So how it would look, so you guys get a better idea. It means I wouldn't have to move on Ashcroft either. I could move Warner to obviously F6. Ashcroft would be my flex. It means also Petrarca's M8. It means I could probably move Caleb Daniel at some point if I wanted to, or use him as a spare, because hypothetically, I wouldn't really even need to do that. Looking at it, I could probably, in future, just loop Marek and Daniel if I get a dead rookie. I'd have to look at North Melbourne and West Coast games and when they align. But I would be happy to finish my forward line and not worry about Horn Francis and just loop a Marek and Daniel and use Daniel or Marek as a spare depending on matchups and flick them to the midfield. So then that's quite handy. Option B, for those watching, I probably won't go over my trades 2 or 3 times because it's just going to do it once. If you didn't see it, just rewind the video. Option B is a little bit more aggressive. So I've done a few Twitter polls and just to get an idea out there. Most people, I know Ashcroft plays North Melbourne and Melbourne. I'm aware of that. It would be to grab Tristan Cherry. The only issue for Tristan Cherry is the matchup for Big O is in the red, meaning it's actually a hard matchup for Ruckman. But we know what Tristan Cherry can do. The issue with Tristan Cherry too, his break-even's quite low for what he's producing. So either way, Cherry or Warner are going up 30K, regardless of which one you pick this week. So, it's more if you think Cherry will go big against McInerney or Warner against Essendon. That's the trade-off. Because Cherry against Richmond next week, I almost don't want to break my side in cash gen, but I almost want to wait a week and go Warner this week and then Cherry next week because I think Warner will go up a little bit more in cash than Cherry. And it means I can hold Ashcroft one more week if I actually do the Warner and Hendo move or Warner and Carroll move. So that's my 2 trade scenarios. I just haven't really decided on which one I'll go for. But yeah, I think Warner's a little bit more tempting for me at the moment. It's really hard to tell, honestly. Anyway, Jack says, I'll send my team an extra. Yeah, definitely do that, mate. So what has he got here for? Thinking it might be better to upgrade Pryor. Instead, I'm losing my voice. Instead of going down, I'm still comfortable fielding Rice. I think he means Bice and Zach Reid. I get that. At D5 and D6, I'd rather go up in backline than go down to a Fonte, but I think Fonte is still a good rookie. Just hard to know after one game any of these rookies. Like, you're not fully confident at all. That makes sense. I'd go up as well and could upgrade him to a primo and then field one of Bice and Reid. Yeah, that's a pretty solid option, to be fair, having one as a spare as well. You could just pick whoever you thought was going to be better match dependent, I suppose, on that, Jack. Aqua says, second guessing my TDK down to Marshall, even it clears up money. Yeah, okay. I just don't know. I don't think any of us know, though. Like, we don't really know these trades until 2 or 3 weeks later when we've got a little bit of data on how he went with it. Almost leaning towards Dawson over Merritt. I'd go Merritt over Dawson. I don't care about the tag. Because Merritt over Dawson, even with the tag. Jack, I have word from a good source after Warner signed his contract. They're giving him at least 80% mid-time FYI. That's interesting, actually. So I was meant to do this last night, but I completely forgot. Just looking at a couple of the fallen premiums that I was keen on, and for what reasons, I suppose. But I've cooled off on dunks just because people are right. When you look at the Brisbane scoring, a lot of mouths to feed. So if you take away that 173, I can't remember who was saying on X, but he's only averaged 102 since post round 1. So, cooled off on that enormously. Like, he hasn't even gone over 120. So I think, like people are saying, I know it's clearly obvious here, but I kind of didn't really think of that. And we've just got the emergence of McCluggage doing well and the Ashcroft brothers as well. Zorko's still good. He's quite cheap. I always forget to talk about players I've already got. His break-even's reasonable, but Kitty Coleman back might throw people off. His last 3 or 5 matches haven't been brilliant, but you're getting him for pretty cheap. Averaging 106, they started him, so these scores haven't really worried me. I've seen reasons why he scored poorly. I've been watching his games, so that's why I'm not concerned. If I didn't watch any of those games and I just saw pure numbers, I'd be more concerned. Dawson, probably the roller coaster pick. I wouldn't be grabbing too many Dawson, Bowdale types, etc. Like, so much risk attached to these up and down players, but again, they're value, so you're gonna have to get value at some point. He's appealing for his VC and C option as well. That's the appeal for Dawson over a Warner. Is you're probably going to VC and C a Dawson over those kind of guys. This cat for the second time wants attention. Typical cats. So yeah, Dawson's got a hard fixture, but easy fixture after the buys. I feel for inside mids. Then you've got Will Ashcroft. No, I don't think I'd want him. Again, I'm probably away from those Brisbane guys. People off Chera, I don't understand why. There's no money on him to do anything. Max Holmes is interesting. He's one I wouldn't mind as a D5. I know his scoring hasn't been great. If he gets to 470k, though, his flexibility could be handy. The issue here is, though, he's very much like Zorko the last few weeks. But his fixture opens right up. I think that's the temptation here. So he has around 16 bye. And then he's got Richmond Giants, St Kilda, North, Port Adelaide, Essendon, Sydney, Richmond. Like, he plays Richmond twice after his bye. So people are probably hot on that. Then there's Petrarca. I'm not hot on this week because of his fixture for inside mids isn't great. Break even 50, so I don't know if you get 119. That's a bit rich. Yeah, he's got Hawthorn, Brisbane, and Sydney. This is why I was like last week, or just don't worry about it. Anti-potty mentality, St Kilda. Even Collingwood and Port are hard matchups. But he got points for breathing. Owning Petrarca was wow. Finn Callahan, people talked about as well. I'm pretty stubborn. Like, if I trade out a player, I don't really bring him in for a while. Like, I go off my eye test and go, nah, I'm going to give him a month instead of being so hot and cold with it. He had those 3 bad games and everyone flicked him off here. And then he's gone bang, 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 116, 116, 133. His time on ground has increased as well. Interesting. So it died off a little bit here. His points per minute is actually quite high as well. 1.2 and a 1.3 in the last 2 to 3 weeks. He's not bad. I just don't think he's top 8, so I don't know if he's a viable selection. But his 3-round average, you can see, is 120, so he's been a good reason why my rank's been okay. Cripper, people are not really looking at Cripper, I don't think, this year. Heaney was until last week on people's radars. He was on my radar too, but again, now with Warner in the midfield and Mills to come back, does he need to spend too much time forward for him to be a viable selection? Again, same with Dunkley, just no ceiling there, I guess. Bowie, that would have been a bad week to grab Bowie. I almost did it actually last week. And Chad Warner, his fixture is just unbelievable. Break even 26. So if he goes 98, he's making 30k. So next week you'd have to pay 520 for him, and I probably don't want to pay 520 for him, to be honest. Like, Port Adelaide, I'm pretty sure they're like a red matchup for inside mids. And saying that, we saw what Dogs did last week. But yeah, contract signed. They're giving him more mid-time. Statistically, I feel like his disposals have been around the same anyway. Have they gone up significantly? So 24 here, 24 here. He got subbed in this game in the 54. So what's going up then? Probably tackle numbers 6 and 4 as opposed to 1 and 3. The 5 here, of course. So he's tackling a lot more. A couple goals here. Yeah, not sure. Maybe score involvements, because a lot of score involvements that he's in lead to goals, leads to some scaling. But the thing I forgot to mention with Warner, He's got to be. I don't know how many percent of sides will actually bring him in before lockout, but you'd assume it's a fair bit. Wow, 16,000 teams, so 10%. He's already 8% owned, so he'll be pretty much a 20% owned player. He's got Essendon, who he's recently scored well against, Carlton, who he smashed last year. He's got Melbourne, so Adelaide and Richmond as well. So his next 5 games, like they're pretty good. Average versus opponent as well. So he loves Essendon. So this is a good sign. This is his best team he's scored against. And then for your finals as well, like your grand final here, and then for your, your last week before the final starts, he plays North Melbourne. It's a pretty handy matchup if you're playing for leagues or cash leagues. So I think he's obviously the most valuable commodity with his DPP. It just depends who you want instead of him. Like I said, for me, it's either him or Tristan Cherry. Just for my side specifically, it doesn't mean that you guys are the same boat. It depends how much cash you got as well. Cherry's been on my mind since Monday, I think. Such a good captaincy option. 52% owned, 70% owned in top 1%. 65 break even. So like Warner, he goes up 30K. So either way, unless you can boost for both, like you're going to pay up for one. It just depends which one you'd rather pay up for. But you'd hope if you're anti-potting Cherry that Brisbane mids shark his tap outs. But then he's got Richmond and Collingwood before his buy. So kind of annoying because he's going to be so outpriced. He's going to get to 650. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely an interesting one. I'll go to some of the comments and then I'll go back into it. I lost where I am. Okay, we're up to Jack's comment here. It says, if Wynn's dropped, it decides my trades easily. Yeah, no worries. Well, that's good. Good to know. At least you got a backup plan. I don't actually got a backup plan if he's not dropped. Give us a like for the stream as well, for all those in the chat. Aqua says, yeah, if Wynn goes, I have to get Dawson anyway, so I can afford Marshall. It's so team dependent. Depends how flexible you want to be as well. If Marshall is your flex and it doesn't help your structure going into the buys, then it might not be worth getting a Marshall. Jack says, Dunks has so much value. I was pick and tip to myself. Just love watching him, but picked up Neil last week, so probably don't need another Lions mid. Yeah, agreed. I definitely agree. Like, you don't want multiple players sometimes at the same team. Aqua says, I wonder if I can afford Sinclair instead of Dawson. You only need a 530K. Break even's 130. He'll go down to 500K next week if he scores a 98, something like that. If Flynn forces my hand, I actually prefer when Supercoach forces your hand instead of having to make choices where there's no clear option for you. I actually like being handcuffed into a decision so I don't feel so bad about doing something. So I actually like Carnage because then it makes me actually, go, all right, I've got to do this. This is option A. There is no option B. So bring on Carnage for my side personally because it means I don't have to overthink things. Aqua was going to pay up extra after St Kilda by so man. It really depends too if you want to wait for him to turn around a little bit, but his statistics look good anyway. It looks like he's just been underscaled a little bit, Sinclair. Aqua, this is about track. Remember, half of Hawthorn midfielders are sitting on their ass at home nursing injury. Yeah, that's true too, actually. Yeah, good point. You make a lot of good points on Twitter. Yeah, Nash. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Nash won't be there either. Good point, Aqua. Love that. Willa, you'll have a late stream. Gonna have to come back and watch this tomorrow morning because I'm knackered. Have a good rest of the stream. Thanks, mate. Thanks for dropping by anyway. Appreciate it. All the love, really. Even if it's the trolls coming in, as you saw earlier, that was strange. Zero. G'day, Zero. Says, hello. Only way I can get Chad or an upgrade this week is by Rice. Oh, gosh. And Flynn. I'd actually rather Levi and Lindsay as a combo. I don't like the idea of getting rid of Caleb Daniel yet. I'd get rid of him on his buy, but maybe not yet. Whoa, okay. Then he says, scored 2-5 last week, so I'd prefer So, sorry. I think if you scored that well, you may as well make an upgrade, even if it means being aggressive. What's your rank, Zero? Because that might be a little bit more of a deciding factor too. John, hey, what's going on, mate? It's hey, Brad, how are you, mate? Yeah, good, thank you. Bit tired. I worked from 3 to midnight. So, says I'm looking at Warner and Pencil. Have fun and more. I'd probably just hold on to Moore at this point. Dylan Moore. Yeah. If you could do Flynn to Warner in one shot, I wouldn't hate it. I also don't think Hustwaite's a must-have rookie, but I do think Warner is probably the most suited to most people's sides out there. And most people don't got a genuine F6 anyway. They're playing Davison or something like that as well. So I think Warner will suit majority of sides, at least 90%, in my opinion, mate. Yaron says, the thing with 2 rucks is there are only 2 positions. Yeah. And Max and Cherry are clearly 1 and 2. So anti-potting Cherry is so hard and not own. Yeah, so my plan is I'm not going to keep Rowan Marshall anyway. I'm going to buy flip him anyway. I'm just using him as a cash grab. So I banked 125k from Marshall to, TDK down to Marshall. Oh my God, my dog's barking. Sorry, guys, my dog's going off ahead. So, yeah, I'll probably use Marshall to make an upgrade in my midfield and maybe go Marshall to Bont or Butters after the round 12 bye. Because like Yaron's saying, like it pretty much handcuffs you. If you already know that Gawn and Cherry are 1 and 2, yeah, it's hard to anti-pod Cherry as well. I don't like the idea of playing 3 rucks for the whole entire season anyway. Because we already know who's clear R1 and R2. Like, we don't really need a third. You could argue the point that TDK is the third, but Pito's going to come back at some point potentially. Yeah. Look, if I don't get Cherry this week, it'll have to be next week against Richmond because he's going to go 200. I don't think he actually means handcuffing as a ruck is a bad idea. I think that's just my suggestion in my own head then. Anyway, Zero says, around 5k. Thanks for the feedback this week. Be rough deciding what to do. It's almost my first year doing Supercoach. Yeah, my brain's been hammered too. There's so much opinion out there that makes it hard. My biggest thing is I don't really like advising one-game players. So when I get asked about a one-game player for a rookie, I've only got 1 game data size as well. So it's hard to go out on a limb and recommend somebody based on an eye test because coaching selection won't base their decision on eye test. So they'll be judging by the 1%ers and how it fits their team going into the week and who they're going to match up on. So yeah, rookies are the hardest thing to pick, I think. There's no obvious answer to rookies too. People can think they know. And then a week later, once that so-called must-have rookie is dropped. So I'm not really a fan of using a must-have situation. Aqua, if I bring in Sinclair next week, okay, it would probably mean just wait on Whitfield. Whitfield is going to come down in price anyway, and he plays the Cats. So I think he will score. This might be his first sub-100 game. At least I'm hoping so as an anti-Whitfield owner. Round 17 is way too late to get Whitfield. If I've read that right. I like Sinclair, though. He's coming down. John, this man plans sides for 6 to 8 weeks. Probably the best planner I've seen. I've only got a 2 or 3 week plan. I can't. My numbers in my head get too much. Too many variables, too many break-evens get thrown out the window for me to be more than a 2-3 week kind of guy. I probably should have more of a 5-6 week plan, but I don't want to go grey. Next week I'm looking at, I don't know why people are trading Daniel out yet. Trading out on the buy, but he's saying here Daniel, Lindsay and Bice. Okay, for Whitfield, Merritt and Boxall. Yeah, I don't hate it, but I still think Daniel wouldn't be the worst cover player. I wouldn't be getting rid of these players until you're fully upgraded. So I wouldn't be getting rid of a sideways, and even though a sideways TDK down to Marshall, I made money off that. Whereas Daniel, you can't make any money off that. If Daniel was 600k, it's probably a warranted selection. I get, and Daniel's averaging 99. Like, let's go play research. This is my no understanding. I think people, and this is not an offensive thing, this is my hot take. I think people are using Daniel as their cash cow because they don't have enough cash gen on their field. So they're picking it from other fields like I did. Like I admit my cash gen last week wasn't right for the picking. So you look at a Primo, but at 450k or whatever he's worth, he's not really worth using. So if you're going to use a Primo, at least make sure they're 600 plus and you're getting a 450 guy, so you're making bank. He's only worth 459 and he's the 9th ranked forward by average. Nobody's got Luke Jackson, so you don't got to worry about that. Like 7.5%. Like no one's really carrying Peter Wright and nobody's really carrying Kennedy, 5%. So he's 76% owned. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Let's look at total points even. He's number 6 for total points. So you know what I mean? Like he's probably not from number 6 from here on out. But if I had to guess, it's going to be randomly McRae, Rankin, Petrarca, Warner. So there's your first 4. Horne-Francis 5. Mix it however you want. 6 Kennedy, which no one's going to go. No one's going to pick Kennedy after his bye. 7 Bailey Smith and 8 Simpkin. Probably 9 Marek. I mean, Daniel's going to be 10. And it's not going to be far off anyway. Like, your 4 big dogs are obviously McRae, Rankin, Petrarca, Smith, Warner. Oh, he probably, ideally, I get why people are doing it now, but I just use him as a freaking spare. Or wait till he goes up in cash. Like, the best forward on would be what? McRae, Rankin, Petrarca, Horne-Francis, Warner, and Smith. Not sure about Kennedy now with Trawl back, like, etc. Like, he's still scoring well anyway. He's produced a 108, but Daniel's just going to be outside the mix, and he might be losing 5 points a week to someone. But until this price goes up, I don't know if it's worth it. Like, I don't know. The Daniel trade is the one thing I'm not really massive on. Once he gets a role change and he starts playing forward pocket, yeah, I get it. But he's scoring similar to Marek, and people are considering bringing bloody Marek in. Like, his floor is great. Like, his worst score is an 81. For 459k, I'm not mad at a guy that's got 81 to 116 range on him. I don't know. I'm very confused about that. I get we're using cash, but maybe I'd rather trade out rookies. I'm only trading out Caleb Daniel and a Chera if I'm completely fully upgraded. That's my end of that take. Anyway, but I'm not saying it wouldn't work for you. I'm just saying that that's my thought process behind the whole Caleb Daniel situation when I get asked about Daniel. So if I'm not keen and I don't like it, that's probably the explanation I want to go by. But the ins are good. So the ins make sense, but can you do it by doing rookies is my suggestion first. Because Whitfield's going to come down in price anyway. Yeah, anyway, Jono. What do we got anyway? He's got, I'm looking at, that's what we already thought of, I think. I think that just came through twice, my friend. Fanny. So I was just looking at that pic. I thought it was like a Tekken character or something. Hey, man, what do you think of my team? Do you want to message me it on Supercoach Pro 91 on Twitter? Do it on that, and I'll have a look. Because I've stopped doing team names. I'll do like a team discussion 11 a.m. Saturday morning for members. So if you want to join up and be a member of the channel, I'll do team discussions there. But for now, just Supercoach Pro 91, comment on my last post, send me a screenshot of your side, and then how much money in the bank, and then I'll go from there. But I'm all juiced out after a 9-hour shift to be doing team names through the chat. But happy if you got trade plans in your suggestion in your comments on the YouTube to definitely do that way. But yeah, I've stopped doing teams now on stream. Because I just feel like I'm keeping 20, 30, 40, whatever it is, people in the chat sometimes watching one person's team, and I just feel sometimes it can take me way too long to do that. The screenshot makes it easier too. What do we got here? So you want to call you pro. Would you consider getting Flanders as a pod? So tempting. Honestly, no. I don't think there's any signs to say that Flanders is back. All of these players you suggest and the trades you suggest, but I just want to see a ton or two from Flanders. I think his highest score is the one he scored now at a 92. I think Johnny Noble and players like that, like Rioli, take his scoring ability away at the moment. He's coming off a big injury. I think it was a back injury or something. If I'm paying $459K for a bloke that hasn't even hit the heights of 94, I don't think I can justify that. Yeah, definitely not. He looked awful in that Richmond game too. He's fallen off a great deal. I'd say it's injury related. There's no preseason behind Flanders, was there? I feel like he was injured for a long, long time, but I don't think Flanders is the answer, unfortunately, mate. I like left field picks, by the way. I'm not dismissing left field picks. Like, if you've got a genuine left field pick that I think I'd consider, I will 100% be honest with you. Lizzie King, welcome back. Lizzie King says 4-1 stable versus other ones. Plus, what a DPP makes options like Daniel as an emergency trade. Yeah, this is what I'm getting the fact of. It's not like I'm saying that people are an idiot for trading him out. I just think exactly what you've quoted here. It's an emergency trade because they've got no coin to do anything else with that money. So they're using Daniel as that player, but you're sidewaysing a guy that's averaging 99 or 96 or whatever the hell it is. It just doesn't make sense. I get you got to make 20 extra points on a primo, but does that mean your Daniel is now you're fielding a Cleary? So then you're going to lose another 20, 30 points? Because if you gain 20 or 30 points, let's say you gain 20 points on the primo, you upgrade to in the midfield, those 20-point players are probably 200K more than Daniel. So you're facilitating 200K to put on Daniel's head. And now you're playing Cleary as F6. So then you're going back 20 points. So literally you've done nothing. I hope that makes sense. And that's not a disrespectful thing. That's just my thought process. You literally haven't made any move. You just gone up 20 points in one line and gone down 20 points in the other line. Mathematically speaking, anyway. If Daniel gets to 600K, then do it. He's not going to get there. Aqua, my plan is basically to try and get a primo now. Okay. And next week. And then ideally. This is the other thing too. This is a great point. Aqua is talking about Mills, Coleman, and Pooh. And now the only way you're getting them is when they're on the bubble. I hate the suggestion of buying these guys pre any game, just because they're named on a team sheet. Even if they play one good game and they get 40 touches, I want to wait until they're on the bubble. Aqua's on the money for this. No disrespect to people that suggest Timmy Coleman going early, etc. Because they know they're going to play for whatever other purposes. But if Coleman did another ACL and you've brought him in off one game, you're going to be kicking yourself. So I'm not doing any of those three players that have had injuries coming back and you want to go early on them. So Aqua's on the money for those players on the bubble. Even if all three of them are on the bubble at the same time, I'd rather at least bring in both and then the following week, whichever's going to make the most cash, pick those two and then get the third one the week after, depending if you've got a boost left. I have no boosts. Anyway, then Primo each week after it buys. Yeah, I can't even think past round 10 or 11. And you guys are thinking about round 16. You guys plan a lot better than me, I'll be honest. I do not plan. I have a 3-week plan maximum at any given week. I'm not even joking. I've never played Supercoach where I have a 6-week plan. I have a watch list that I always pick off, but I never. There's too many variables. Again, if I had a 6-week plan, every time it'd get shot out the week before anyway, because the break evens and an injury happens, or someone gets suspended, or someone has personal leave. It's good to have a plan. Like, I'll have trade targets, but I don't have a specific of. I keep my options open and my mind open instead of going, all right, this guy's going to be in, this guy's going to be in. I don't want to handcuff myself to thinking this is what I need to do, because form can change in those players too. Roles can change. But I do understand why people plan so hard. Just not me. And it might work for you, but it doesn't work for me anyway. The same thing, same thing can be said. What works for me might not work for you anyway. You might be better at planning, and if you don't plan, you sort of freak out. So I get it. Jono, my forward line would be. Okay, here we go. He's got Hornet, Rankin, McRae, Warner, Baz, and Merrick. Yeah, I don't hate it. Like, the flexibility in your midfield makes sense with tracking there. I quite like it. Yeah, like I said, send it to me on Twitter, my friend. I think you posted that before. Yeah, send me that on Twitter. I'm not ignoring it. Just send me, go Supercoach Pro 91, and on my last post, send me a side. Or maybe comment at the end of this video once it's uploaded. If you don't have Twitter, do it that way. But I've done a 9-hour shift. Aqua. Hopefully you guys don't think I'm an arsehole, but anyway. I'm sure you don't. Aqua, there are just so many players up for grabs, which makes it difficult to tell. Yeah, no, I agree, mate, honestly. For example, I don't want to drop 3 rookie defenders until round 11, 12, 13, which means I can't bring in a second Primo in easily. Yeah, so you already know what you need to do. You just fix your weakest line. That's how you play Supercoach anyway, generally speaking. Yeah, Jono, the rookies that I'd have on field next week are Trainer, Ashgrove, Hurst. Yeah, nice. If you're confident going early on Box Show, you're the Saints man, then yeah, go for it. Matthew, here we go. Brad, pray, indulge my curiosity. What sentiments attend? Okay. Ranked 52nd in Supercoach. A distinction to which so few have elevated. What reflections arise as you dwell beneath? Okay. Well, I just had to process that whole statement there. I think Hippo is bang on. He said in his stream the other night, a lot of it's just luck. I think at least 50% of it's luck. The other 50% is obviously trading and having a starting side, but also backing your gut. The other reflection is I haven't swapped too many primos out. I haven't sideways too many people. I've probably been listening to more people around the community, not so much content, but maybe Twitter, I reckon, is a huge factor in reflection. Being open-minded and not being closed-minded to what people have to say, even if they're ranked 80K. Like, it doesn't mean I'm a better super coach, right? It means, things have just fallen into place. If I maintain that top 50 all year, then sure, I've had a really good season. But it's certainly not just myself. It's the statistics people put out there on Twitter polls. You've just got to make sure what you're feeding in is what you see on the TV sort of makes sense to you, because people can go, oh, he scored well because of this and this. But if you didn't watch the game, it's sort of hard to know what's real and what's not. Not to say they give you fake news, but I generally say if you're watching most of the games of footy every week, that's the best eye test you can get than someone telling you, here's his stats and this is why he scored well. So I think it's probably important to watch most games. The other thing is the people in the comments in the streams that are supporters of other sides that know their team well, probably to ask them what they think of a rookie rather than someone that supports Richmond and you're asking them a GWS rookie. I only have the same data you have. Unless you invested heavily in that side, it's very hard to make a decision based off stats. So you just sort of pick what they've been doing in VFL level, I suppose, as well, who they're competing against for spots, and then sort of nut out the injury list as well. So there's a few different factors for a lot of things, but Probably just being more calculated over the season. For even things you think are really minor, just even if you have to overthink and it drives you insane, I'd rather overthink than underthink and just go, yep, set and forget since Monday. I'd rather drive myself crazy and be 100% sure that what I studied was correct in my head. And if it pans out it wasn't, at least I tried and gave it 100%. So if I answered that way too long, I apologise. But my expectations from here too is to at least maintain where I'm at and not fall out, because there'll be people deaf writing me and I'm very aware of that. So, and there's also people here that are watching going, all right, what's his next move? But I'll be honest, I don't even know my next move until probably Saturday morning this week of my trades. I'm going to wait it out for a bit. Anyway. Oh yeah, there's a lot of pressure. I'm definitely feeling the pressure. I'm not going to hide from that. Expectations too, because the sub count has gone up and I'm getting a lot more comments on X or Twitter. So there's certainly a lot of pressure there. But I'm on streaming just about every night, so I'm not shying away from it. But I'm also aware that people are going to hope that you're on the money because where your ranking is, and I think my advice is good enough regardless of where I'm ranked anyway. Fanny, thinking Lindsay, Flynn, Clay Hall to Merritt. Double risk on the rookies. Don't scream out a pick me sort of trade. I wouldn't be super confident. Sure, if Boxshell is named not sub on the Friday night, I think it is, you could do it. But again, I probably wouldn't want to go 2 rookies that are only played 1 game. I don't know if I'd boost. This is the thing too. I don't know if I'd boost for 2 rookies playing 1 game. I'd boost for 2 primos and 1 rookie, but not the other way around. Anyway, Jupe, keen for another week of footy, mate. Yeah, I am. Actually am. Always am. I hope my Tigers can get a win. I'll probably go to that game. Here we go. Send some random questions through the chat if you want. I'll keep going until we pretty much run out and then call it a night, unless you want me to talk about a certain player that you've had your eye on. Matthew, I might also consider exchanging bias. I don't mind the bias for Sherry. There's so many ways that you could hold bias. There's also a huge fact that he might not hit his break even. So if it was bias for Cherry, I don't hate it. It just really depends who you're fielding net instead of bias. If you're fielding a trainer or a Zach Reed that comes onto field, I'm very happy to do that move. Or does it carry? No, I think if you need a VC and C option 2, this is the week to bring in Cherry. See, I would move on bias, but I don't have anyone to field. I've got Carroll and Leak in my defense. So, it really depends on your rookie cover, Matthew. But yeah, I don't hate it at all if it means you're getting one of the best scorers in the game. Yeah, it was confusing me a little bit. Yaron says 8,000 trades for bias. Wow. 3,345 trading in TDK. Sorry, trading out TDK. 2,818 trading out Daniel. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. Mick Malloy, no Gordon killing me. Is it worth paying up or would you wait? It's hard to say because I actually own him. Let me have a look. I have a look what he's been doing in my side. This is the same question I've got about Cherry, although Cherry is so much cheaper than Gorney. So I don't know how people are going to pay up for Bonds, Butters, Dacos, all these players when they've got no cash, Jim. You're just going to be sideways in your primos to facilitate these guys, and you're going to be playing rookies every week. Yeah, wow, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of hurt factor with Gorn, isn't there? Look, if you got cash cows like Murphy, Reed, and Davison, yeah, you probably could do it. I don't. I'm so hot and cold with this. Do you pay up for primos? Because it's again, if you don't got enough VC and Cs, it's probably worth it just in that. And it also depends on your rank as well with some of these risks. Your buy structure. Look, I think Gorn is probably worth what he is, but it's just so hard to do that move and then upgrade the week after. So if you're happy not upgrading for 2 weeks after you bring him in, then sure. It depends how many rookies you've still got on the field as well. I wouldn't be doing if I was fielding 6 rookies. Yeah, Aaron, Brad, it's either the emergency coin, as you say. Yeah, that's right. Or a fair chance these teams are loaded with round 12 primos. Yeah, that's true too. There's a lot of dead benches, and this is the thing I'm saying. Like, you get team names, and that's what I was saying earlier, and you wonder why they're using those players. It's because they've got no cash gen, unfortunately. So I find it difficult to obtain sometimes when these teams say they're going to give 3 different upgrades to $600,000 players. I'm struggling to find how they're doing it this week because you'd have to boost to do it. Hello, mate. Yo, Pro, what's your thoughts on grabbing Rasmus? Is he worth it? I don't think he is. And again, if you went early in Hurstwade, I think it hurts you in the long run by going early on players because then if you go early on a one-game player, the week after you're going to do the same pattern. So I hate going early on a one-game player. I don't like it from what I'm hearing on Twitter and X. Majority that Freo supporters reckon as soon as O'Driscoll comes in that he's going to be out of the side or at least sub at the very least. I don't know. I actually prefer Hurstwade over Erasmus, but most people have Hurstwade. You're going to have to take a punt on one of these rookies. He's got DPP, so that's not the worst thing. If he's sub, you don't even look at it, though. I hope for some that he's sub, so it just puts you off him completely. So there's no what ifs the week after. Bomb James. Again, time on ground for Boxall's hard. Erasmus, like he's only coming in now. He's had so many chances to come in that side. O'Driscoll comes back. Narkle's been dropped. Sorry, not Narkle. Wasn't Narkle? Who the hell was dropped? My cat is meowing again. It was Narkle, so he's going to be competing with Narkle every week. Let's just go to my room for a second. That sounds weird. My cat is meowing her head off. What are you doing, Sabrina? Sorry, my cat's meowing. Sorry. I'm not even joking. My cat wanted to be let in my room with the lights on. People tell me cats are strange. What cat do you know wants you to come to your room just to turn on the light so they can sit on your bed and be a weirdo and wait for you? Whatever. Funny. Yeah, that's what I'm unsure about. But there's just no other option, and I already have Hurstwade. Yeah. I'm just gonna say at this point, like, this is why it sucks grabbing players early because you're gonna have to do it every week now. Yeah, I actually don't know. You're gonna have to. This is the other way to look at team sheets. Like, I know it sounds really freaking vague, but on those team sheets, when you're looking at the rookies, just see are they on extended bench or are they named on the field. If they're named on the field, I'd just about pick him from being named on the field rather than the interchange bench. And then 5 minutes before the game, normally it says who's starting on the bench. If they're starting on the bench, it's not a good sign for rookies, in my opinion. And then the second thing is you look at that team and how many injuries they've got to that specific position. If it's a fully healthy list and a rookie is named, I'm more confident in that rookie because it means they've just performed better than the other player that they've been dropped. And I'm pretty confident in those rookies, even if they're keeping out some of those guys in other spots. Whereas if it's a huge injury like list, they've been given a game just because there's injuries, unless they're long-term injuries, I'm not as confident on those players. I like the guys that bang down the door, boot someone out of their position, have a blinder of a game, and then they get 3 or 4 weeks just on that one game because they've been playing well in the VFL, rather than someone given games just because there's a 1 or 2 week injury. It's very hard. I'm not the greatest of rookies. I never really have been. I sort of just base it off team selections or how much depth that side has. There's a few different things, but I couldn't even tell you the difference between selecting an Erasmus or a Boxshell. Ross Lyon's an absolute merchant for St Kilda rookies. The time on ground for a Boxshell was shocking. Erasmus is now coming in now. So for me, I'd almost rather these mid-season draft players coming in 4 or 5 weeks' time when teams are needed of a ruckman like Essendon, and they're going to get game time. Whereas any of these rookies from now to round 12 scare the hell out of me. Hence why I do Twitter polls about what other people think about rookies, because nobody can be fully confident on any rookie after one game and say, yeah, he's going to play the next 6. You're talking about Matthew. Yeah, it confused me a little bit. It's late at night. So it is what it is. It's pretty funny. It took me way too long to understand what was going on, though. My brain cells were having a good old time there. Pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, I'm a Tigers man. Yeah, so am I. Hopefully we can see a win Sunday. Glad it's at the G. Yeah, I reckon we'll win at the MCG. If anyone does run into me at the game, you're more welcome to say hello. He won't ignore you. I don't think I've ever been recognised outside of, outside of Content Land. I think maybe once in Torquay, but that was a while ago now. So, Jonas kind of recognised me when I said I'll do a bit of a sub meet-up for the Gold Coast and Richmond game, and he knew who I was, obviously, but I've never been randomly noticed, I don't think. Be weird if I did, because I'm out in Geelong, so I know Shorty, but not Brad here. Matthew, sorry about the long comment. So I'm just taking the mickey after Shorty's stream. That's right, Matthew. You do whatever you want in the comments. If I just read up slow, it's because I did VCal and I ate crowns for dinner. DJ Big Tom. Okay, here we go. I got a trade plan, I guess. Says I'm trying to find a way where I can keep bias. Zach Reid, Nettle. Yeah, this is my issue too. I don't have a read though. Ashcroft all year. Look, if you're going to get rid of dead rookies too, it's got to be for 120k guys or mid-season draft players. It's hard too. You want to max out cash of these players, but you can go early if you need to, obviously. Geez, you guys are going off in here in a good way. Matthew, yeah, so he's asked me about Campbell because I'm a Richmond supporter. I don't think he's got good job security. He's versatile. You'd have to want Bolter to go down or Trainer to go down or any key back for him to be solidified in that spot. Even if Tom Lynch went down, he can play forward. So I don't think he's your guy as a rookie. If you don't say Richmond rookie in my side, it's generally because I don't trust it. That's why I started with none. I don't think I even started Wayward this year. Hope you get some time to relax after a long shift. Yeah, I will definitely. I'll probably wrap this up shortly at some point. But we're getting more people at this time than what we were an hour ago. It's weird. Thoughts on Ponty? I might as always on those rookies. To me, he was the one that stood out of the rookies for last week. If you base these rookie selections on me, I'm not accountable for rookies. I've never claimed to be fantastic at them. After 2 game sample size, I could give you a way better answer than just bloody one. Because who's to say he doesn't drive for 40 next week? Then I'll look like an idiot. So I think Fonty's keeping out Stone, is it? Is it Connor Stone? Someone confirm with me. I can't remember which player he's actually keeping out the side, but I remember watching him. He was a very confident player too. So statistically, his minutes are okay, 91 minutes. 10 kicks, 7 handballs, 7 marks, 1 tackle. I don't really like Port rookies. You he's probably keeping Moraes out the side. But I feel like with Will, he got scored overs for what he produced. My cat is still meowing her head off. She can get stuffed. 15 touches for an 83 seems a bit rich. Hardiman's too expensive. I already think Fontie's too expensive. Hardiman's not for me. Not for me. I know these are 34. These must be sub games clearly, but no for Hardiman. Dudley's been sub before, so I don't think I could say yes to that. Boxshaw's time on ground is really bad. I don't know why I didn't go into this before going onto this rookie rant, but do we trust Ross Lyon? Seriously, 71 minutes is not a lot. Points per minute is good, though. Like, if he got the shot, like, he's a very high-scoring rookie. 16 touches from that amount of time is actually pretty good. And that's actually ridiculous. So he's got the best scoring capability. But just if Philippou comes back, is he the sub? I'm really not sure. Finbar, you'd only use this if you got Archer Reed. There's no one else that really screams out. Not Bo Allen. I don't think Bo Allen's the guy. For me, if I have to 1, 2, and 3 it to make it easier for you guys, and it can change. I think I'd like Fonty 1, Boxshell 2, and Will 3. I don't even have Erasmus there as number 4. I don't trust it. There's something about it. I get the break even. I get it. He wouldn't be the worst Lou, but it depends how many dead rookies you got. If you don't have any dead rookies and you got 2 dead rookies and you can say yes to this, like we've seen he's got a 126 against him. If he's not sub, then yeah, whatever. But at the same time, if these guys get dropped for Nathan O'Driscoll next week, you'll be pretty pissed off. The score's crazy. Oh, my stupid cat. She's waking everybody up. I need to feed my cat. Let's go feed my cat, stream. Yeah, Sabrina, let me go feed you because feeding you is more important than anything in this planet. Excuse me, stream. I don't know if anyone's ever fed their cat on a stream, but it's not the cat I want to be feeding, if you know what I mean. All right, stream. What do we got here? We're not going to eat this, by the way. It's just for the cat. I named my cat Sabrina, and she's the biggest little princess you'd ever meet in terms of just so needy. It's like having a girlfriend all over again, which I've already got, but anyway, enough of cat talk. Nothing worse when your cat, like you wake up and the cat's on your head. Like you wake up and you just see this black cat on your head, keeping you warm. Not the cat you want to sit on your head though. Wrong cat. That's a bit wild. Sorry, it's a bit of late night stream. So I've now divvied to Supercoach and gone a bit. How you going? Aqua Elliot, yo. What the hell? Elliot, yo, such a tiring hold, he reckons, on his draft. I'll show you my draft team real quick, and then I'll get some questions or statements out of the way. Sorry about feeding my cat. She's like 15 years old and has got to be the neediest cat I've ever met in my life. All right, while that loads in 2026, we'll go back to your comments here. How's my draft side anyway? I forgot Ned Long wasn't. Long wasn't playing. Well, I've got to do something here. Oh my god. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm pretty sure I still won that week. So this is my side anyway in draft for those watching at home or on the TV. How many of you watch you on me on TV? Because I saw a statistic on my YouTube the other day. There was like 30% watch me on TV, and that's crazy. I didn't think I was TV worthy. Mick Moy only got 4 rookies on field. Yeah, I actually like it then. Oh, Actually, sidewaysing Real wouldn't be so bad. He's looked awful. Why am I happy sidewaysing Real over Daniel? That's stupid. Hmm. See, this issue, Daniel's more likely to be top 6 to 8 of his line than what Rao is currently. But don't love still trading out primos to facilitate goal on. I'm on the fence about that, Mick, and not because I don't want to help, but it's such a 50-50 call. If Rao bounces back, you'd be kicking yourself. Because you know what Rao can do. Like, the start of the year, he's banging out 130 is like it was just fun for him. Yeah, and the thing is Cooper Simpson also came in Dudley is in best 22 by any stretch. Yeah, agreed. So I'm happy to gamble around. Yeah, well, you already had him, didn't you? I remember in our chat before, at least he's in the bubble. Yeah. Oh, this sort of thing. Sometimes exactly what Yaron's got here anyway. Like you're happy to gamble with these sort of picks, and you're going to have to at some point. So he's got the DPP. That's what would sell me. It's like if I had to, he's got DPP, whatever. Let's send it. It facilitates an upgrade anyway. So maybe I'm overthinking this whole rookie scenario, but it's just hard to know if a rookie will get dropped the week after. Aqua, FYI, important news. Apparently, saying this is 248k Ruckman. I don't think it's worth R3. I think if you're going to grab an R3, it's Finn next week. I wasn't trying to flex my thing there. Finn bar's 119. I wouldn't go for the Port Ruckman. It's like 248,000 as your R3. I don't think it's worth it. Unless he's guaranteed that Sweet gets injured or Soldo gets injured, I wouldn't do it at all. Anyway, watch. I've heard it too. Ooh, I'm telling you guys, Levi Ashcroft is only going to get better this season. Yeah, probably will. I don't think it's going out on a limb. I think you're correct because he looks like a gun. But yeah, I like it. Jack, how's the other one? Yeah, he's going well, mate. I've just done a job. No, it's fine, mate. I did one before. I was turtlenecking. And I had too much coffee, and I was on my way home. The turtleneck didn't start happening. I was like, I better get home before my car turns brown. And yeah, don't worry, we've all been there. Nothing like running to your house, open the door, and just running straight for the toilet without saying hi to the missus and giving her a forehead kiss or something. Do you prefer cats or dogs? Definitely dogs now. I used to be a cat man until this bloody 15-year-old cat that I've had for the last 15 years has just driven me nuts. I wake up with scratches sometimes when I'm like, who was that? At the missus or the cat? Matthew, I don't rate trading Gordon in at the moment as an owner. Yeah, he's very expensive, honestly. He's like a bev at casino sometimes. Just really expensive. I hate paying $16-12 for a drink. I miss the days of buying $10 a drink. What's the go of that now? I rarely drink now, though, honestly. Yaron's just laughing at me. I think this was about the cat comment when I was talking about the cat sitting on my face or something, perhaps. Aqua, my draft side is in the sealed position. You love draft right now. Butters dunks, Wardor Steel, Sidey. That's actually not a bad side at all. And Sis, yeah, right. There we go. All right. Aqua, I can't believe we've been doing this for an hour. It's now 1:30 in the morning. You guys are chilling, 20 of us in the chat. What do we got? Traded out Amon and Marek for Dylan Moore and Wilmot for 2 weeks ago. Is this in draft? Yeah, right. Okay, interesting. All right, almost might wrap it up there. Something I've never done before. Again, I don't think his player trade in and trades out have really varied since Monday. I think you'll see the top 3 will probably be Chad Warner in. I'll be doing jump on and jump off anyway with Steve tomorrow morning. We'll record that. I don't know if we'll go live with it, but if you want to get a better idea for rookies, I'm not saying all the top 1% no, but maybe have a look at top 1 and top 5% and see who they're bringing in. So top 1% are bringing in Hurstwaite. Wow, okay. Maybe that's a better indication, chat. People in top 1% are going Erasmus over Boxshell. Wow. Is it just purely because he's named tomorrow night? That's the other thing you got to consider. I'd keep an eye on this around 6:20 when we find out what Boxshell's named as well. Cherry's up there as well. It's about where we thought it was anyway. I'll see if the rookies change from Erasmus to Boxshell in the top 5%. I'm very surprised, actually. That is huge call. Maybe because Philippu's coming back. Interesting. Very interesting. And top 10%. I'd say just because this... Oh, okay. Top 10% has changed. How about overall? Let's just go overall, coaches. What's the overall consensus? Okay, that's definitely interesting. Right, so overall coaches are picking Boxshell, but the top 1 to 5, is it 1 to 5? Have Erasmus. Is it because of the DPP? All right, I'm more confused than ever now on that. Anyway, I've just confused the hell out of myself. That's exactly right. Oh my God, yeah, that's why. That would be why. Yep, this is the nail on the freaking head. Erasmus is on the bubble. That's exactly why. I'm so sorry. I've had 4 hours sleep, and I'm like, why has he picked more? That's why he's on the fucking bubble. Yeah, okay, yep, he's on the bubble. Apologies, chat. That exactly makes sense why people picked him over Boxshell. Probably the more common sense thing to do too. I mean, if you're going a week early on Hurstwaite, whatever the hell his name is, then you go Erasmus because, yeah, Boxshell could be dropped or subbed next week. I can't believe I just had a huge brain fade then. Yeah, grab Erasmus and just hope to hell that Nod doesn't get named. If Nod gets named next week, though, and Boxshell gets a third game without being sub at all, that would piss you off. The issue with Erasmus too is he plays tomorrow night and Boxshell plays Friday night. Ideally, you'd rather the other way around because then you could see if Boxshell was the sub on the Thursday night if they were playing opposite game times. So this you're kind of going out on a limb and just hoping that he plays so well that it doesn't matter. Yeah, good point too. This is the other thing. Like Matthew was asking me about where I'm at the moment. It's because I listen to you guys in chat as well. Like, there's a huge reason why to do well, and I think the more streams you're involved in, the more you guys help each other out. Anyway, helps me out too. So anyway, he will make 60K, won't he? Let's have a look. And Collingwood have rested all their players too. This is the other thing I put on the Twitter poll too. Would you go Erasmus or Hurstwaite? I'm still going Hurstwaite over Erasmus because they're both on the bubble. And I won't feel bad if I miss out on Erasmus and he does well. Hurstwaite, whatever. I'm going to cop it in the video tomorrow when this gets uploaded by somebody that's an English teacher. He'll make 50K if he gets a 61. Okay, interesting. Yeah. So if you look at the cash cows, who's the biggest cash cow? I think it's Hurstwaite. We'll get out of the filter here. We're going to call it a night shortly, actually, too. Hurstwaite. Negative 83. Yeah. Yeah, everyone went early on him. I didn't know, of course. I just used money out of Marshall. So if you're just desperate for the money, yeah, I know. Yep, no, it makes sense. Yep. So pretty stupid to give a guy one game and done. Yeah, I know. Body would be. I'll almost wrap this. I might wrap this up shortly in a second. If you guys don't got anything else after these couple of comments, I'm gonna call it a night. I think we all need some sleep. Some of you got work in the morning. I do not. Akos, so maybe they'll rest Dudley or Reed. Yeah, potentially. Huge shout. Anyway, then this will be my last comment, I think, guys. I'll end the stream after this, unless you got anything else. But Aqua here says Erasmus will never even be with Stephen. Yeah, okay. So for best 22, you're right. Young's out of there completely, but Nod, O'Meara. I forgot O'Meara's out as well. Walter's out as well. So if you have a look at the list, who's injured? Yep. Let's do this real quick, and then I keep saying we're going to call it a night, and something else happens. We'll just look at Fremantle players in general, and just have a look who would take his spot. But you guys need cash gen anyway, so you're not going to really care. Because like I said before, all these rookies suck for cash gen. Because we just don't know if they're going to be sub or drops. So there's no givens in rookies. So who's not green lighted? So Draper's obviously emergency. He wouldn't be taking Erasmus spot. O'Driscoll, ankle. When's he back? Banfield not selected. Yep. Young's done for the season pretty much, so not going to worry about that. Oscar Mack, not going to worry about him. Brandon Walker, whatever. James Aish, didn't realise he wasn't playing. That shouldn't affect him. Fife isn't available till round 14. Walters, when's Walters coming back? Round 14. Will Brodie's, that's the end of his season. There's no way he's playing. Where's O'Meara? So really Nod and O'Meara. O'Meara around 14. You might actually be okay. It's really just Nod. Nod and Quinton Narkle who's been dropped. I mean, all those other guys around 14. It's round 9. Anyway, I think it's not as bad as I thought. So Erasmus has to score 50% or less than what he scored last year against Collingwood. Well, literally, yeah, call it a morning. Yeah, I'm done after this Mikey comment. I'm done. I'm spent. Give us a like for the stream before you leave too. I'd appreciate that a lot. Mate, I need to pick for a Warner track or Francis. Which one do you leave out? Only got 2 spots left. This is going to be unpopular opinion, but I actually think Petrarca, just with the fixture, I think Warner's got one of the best fixtures on the run home for inside mids. So I'd pick Warner this week. Horny whenever you can, and then I'd probably antipod Truck out of those guys because, yeah, I think I'd go Warner, Horny, and then Truck I'd leave out. Anyway, again, thank you for everyone that jumped in. Thanks, Sharon. Good night, all. Good night, everyone. Appreciate your time. Give us a thumbs up and sub if you haven't already, as per usual. Cheers.